What if the healing you've been searching for has been hiding in the weird? Taking the Weird Out of Woo is a new series that's on a mission to normalize non-traditional therapies and explore healing beyond the mainstream, one episode at a time. Each week, we bring together three powerful elements: a skeptic who's open but unsure, an expert who's lived and studied the method, and a real experience that just might change everything. From sound healing to breathwork, energy medicine, and beyond, we're diving into the woo with curiosity, compassion, and a willingness to ask, could this actually help? This isn't just entertainment, it's an invitation to feel, to heal, and to explore what's possible when nothing else has worked. Welcome to Taking the Weird Out of Woo. Let's heal together. Today's episode, laser beams. So cool. We use laser beams in so many different new technologies, whether it's surgery or technology. But today we are going to be talking about cold laser therapy or low-level laser therapy. This technology has the ability, when paired with mindset and imagination and future goal setting, to really help individuals that may be stuck in the sympathetic nervous system, meaning they feel a lot of anxiety, they feel a lot of overwhelm and frustration, to be able to help them to feel more grounded, more centered, for them to have a higher quality of life. So let's go check this out and see how this works. I would love for you to just go through this. I am. Who is Charlie? I am.
Great question. And for whatever reason, when Troy first brought up the I am statement, and I wouldn't picture myself this way, but what shouted in my brain was broken. And that's not who I see myself as, but I think that's where, over the past several months, as my brain has just been on overload and overdrive, I've come to the point where I think you even asked me a question recently when we got together, and I said to you, I don't even feel like I'm living my life right now. I kind of just show up and I go through the motions, and I do have a smile on my face because that's my natural setback, is just to kind of hide, when I am broken. And for me right now, it's I related to a lot of what you were saying. I can't sleep at night, and I, even sometimes at night, I'll take something to try to, a NyQuil to just put me to sleep and try to sleep, and I'll get up in the middle of the night. And I used to be so great about even saying my prayers, but I wake up in the morning and I start saying my prayer. 5 seconds into it, my brain is like, you don't have time for this. And I end my prayer and I get up and I go about my day. And currently right now in my life, I don't feel like I'm connecting with my family. And it's like a vicious cycle, right? It's like, you could be a better dad. And then I beat myself up, because I'm not connecting with my kids. And my brain is just always on overload. It's just go, 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 go. I always feel like I have so much to do, and I'm always trying to do things. And I guess the word that shouted in my brain was, currently right now, I'm broken. And what's really interesting as I started thinking about doing this segment is recently in my prayer, probably just about 2 weeks ago, I felt so broken. I prayed, and I'm like, Heavenly Father, come rescue me, because I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. And then this came about.
So the goal that I have for my patients is have an awareness that this is what's going on all the time. And if we are conscious that that's happening, then we can actually reprogram, and you can do it all on your own. So I can accelerate that with some tools and make it so that you're more and more aware. And that's why as I'm working with somebody, there's a level of what do you want to accomplish? What's your goal? And then how are we going to get there? We kind of found out that it's like you kind of want to have a different life. You want to have more peace and have more, like, just articulate it yourself. Go ahead. What is it that you would like to have? If you could have your life go how you want it to go in 3 months, it's like, how different would it be? What would be your ideal?
I would love to be able to just sit in peace and quiet and be okay, and not have my mind racing 1,000 miles an hour with all the things that I need to get done, all the things I need to do. I'd love to be able to be in the present, especially with people, with my family, connect with them, and not have my mind wandering off.
Yeah. So we want to connect and have your mind be present also. Mind be present. So that's why it's like we're going to do this past, present, future thing. So a part of this is making it so that there's an awareness that you can then start, and I can give you homework, and you can start doing things differently again through your routine. We'll use some of these tools, and we're going to probably use another tool here that we didn't use before to make it so that we can kind of upgrade how your brain is able to, it can be more willing to shift from the unconscious protection to, oh, okay, I can let that new program happen really fast. So we'll use a different tool.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Have you been, let's say, the percentage of being present? What's the percentage of being present night and day? Because at nighttime, you kind of go into a mode of whatever you dream of is kind of like, it's what you've been thinking about, or worries. The monsters come out at nighttime. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you sleep, by the way?
I don't sleep well at all.
Don't sleep at all?
No.
Let's go back in time. When's the last time you slept really good consistently? Just night after night, consistent?
Probably a little over a year ago.
About that time?
Yeah.
Okay. And so without going into a lot of detail, is there a reason why you feel like 1 year ago was the threshold that things went whoop?
Yeah, there was somebody that we bought a business from caused a lot of turmoil and stress financially against us, where we lost a lot of money. And
so our challenge is the loss of money.
Yeah.
Okay, so loss of money. And that was 1 year ago. Okay, so let's find out like how much time we're present. And we're gonna just tap into your unconscious. So have you been, at least in this last year, up until yesterday, hold strong, at least 50%? Well, actually, let's do this. Let's find out a yes and no answer. We got to make sure that you're accurate first. I forgot. We need to do this. Hold strong. Hold strong. So this is a disengage, and this is an engage. And you can feel a difference, right? Is that easy to feel a difference?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do something that has to do with, you can declare your name. My name is...
My name is Charlie Benson.
Hold strong. So it's like with that, then you can go, yeah, I believe that. Now you can say, my name is Fred, whatever.
My name is Fred Flintstone.
There you go. And it's like, thank goodness that's not strong. That could be a problematic. We'd have to put you somewhere else to live if you thought that was the case. So what we're going to do is go back again and recognize, as you declare, my name is Charlie.
My name is Charlie.
That there's some level of at least 51% that you believe that, and that is something that you can hang your hat on. Does that make sense? Go ahead and put your arm down. Okay. So we're not looking for perfect, but at 51%, if you buy into something, then it's like that's going to be congruent with making it so it's like whatever you declare, boom, that's strong. Okay. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah. When he was talking about what he was going to do with the laser lights, I really hadn't experienced that before. I thought that was definitely different. But again, I had a pretty open mind, and I wanted something to work. But I was skeptical of, can really laser lights work? When he was testing me with my arm through the testing that he did, again, at first, I thought, does this really work? Can he really get in tune with my subconscious mind, with me, and what my body needs and what it's going through? And I was a little skeptical, and I was a little nervous.
Okay, so we'll go back in. This last year, you've been at least 50% present this last year, at least 50% present, at least 10% present this last year, at least 2% present, hold strong, at least 0.1% present, hold strong, at least 0.001% present, hold strong. Okay, you're about 1,000% present. So that's kind of not very much, right?
Right.
Okay, so what do you think? Where has your mind been in this last year? If it's not present, where do you think you've been? There's two options.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Let's find out. Let's find out.
Okay.
Have you been at least 50% living in the past? At least 80% living in the past? At least 95% living in the past? At least 98% living in the past? 99% living in the past? 99.5% living in the past? 99.2%? 0.1%? 99%? 99%-ish. There's an ish there. So 99% in the past, which is the difference is going to be about 1-ish%, right, in the future. As a business owner, is that a good proportion to basically have your life, right?
Absolutely not.
What are the ramifications if that's the case as a business owner? What do you think would happen if you make your decisions off of that scenario, out of that ratio?
Most of them would probably be wrong decisions.
And most of them is going to be, if we're living in the past, it means that we're guided and we're kind of either ruminating about the past, so that's worrying, or we're thinking that my decisions in the past, I need to make future decisions on the past. Means that it's like driving in the rearview mirror. The whole entire, let's say, what you're looking through in your car wouldn't be the forward glass. It would be looking at the rearview mirror. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So as a business owner, it's up to us to be able to have an entrepreneurial vision. Vision is what do you want, and if you don't know what you want with clarity, what happens in your business?
You're gonna fail.
Right. Yeah. So at least you're at 1%, rock on, 1%. So how about right now we actually make some shift?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
We're gonna have us wear this neurofeedback unit. It's actually a neuroplasticity unit, and it's called a focus unit. We're gonna change your focus. Here we go, we're gonna take your glasses off. And there's a program that I can make it so it blinks at a certain rate. And what we're going to do is do disentrainment so that we can kind of do some disengaging. It's kind of like unlearning. So we're going to do unlearning right now. Is that okay?
Yes.
Unlearning. There's going to be a little blinkiness going on. So this is a piece of equipment that we use that helps with neuroplasticity. This is what I use to help a person receive coaching. And make it so that there can be shifts in how they see themselves. It makes it so that individuals, when they're stuck and they're not responding, even with challenges with their body, is that we work on making it so that they're much more receptive to be able to see that there's a possibility for them to, let's say, have a life. It's an improvement or an upgrade. And so this is what some people are able to lease for their home, and they can use it with their family. So when I'm doing coaching, usually I said there's 3 to 6 month programs, and so people can lease these pieces of equipment for that amount of time, and it makes it so they can compress time and make it so their results are much more profound. And I want you to actually see yourself in the future on how you want you to be, and how you want your relationships to be, and how you want your business to go. And having vision, having an idea of your want, is kind of like, think about it, is that we're going to create space for a brand new Charlie life. It's going to be an upgrade. I want you to see that. So we're going to see how you're testing as we go through this. You're doing great. This is just for us to kind of see, hold your own. Oftentimes when we're going through changes, it's like everything goes into weakness. Everything just goes into weakness. Everything is like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to give up. That's okay. That's the most common thing. You're spot on. You're doing great. So it's like just kind of still engage, look into that mirror and see who you want to be. See the power that you want to have in your mind, in your life, in your business. See it. There is resistance, but at the same time, there's probably some level of spark of hope that you're starting to be able to feel. Usually there's a change. You feel lighter somewhere in your body. It could be lighter in your gut, in your heart, in your head, but it's getting easier somewhere, and there's resistance also somewhere. You're doing great. So we talk about that this has red. So the laser has a different color and a different feel. Some people, they don't feel anything. Others feel that it's like they can feel an impulse or some sort of an energy shift for them. So red was the one that's been out longest. It's been out for 25 years that they've had red laser, or Konya has. And it's the one that I have most in my office. So over the last few years, we've been able to get different technologies, different lasers to accomplish things in just a faster and faster way. So when I'm using it in my office, I'm using it to make it so that people go from maybe unstable or instability, problems with their body, they're not responding, and then making it so that they can finally hold healing and get the best results long term. And so oftentimes I'll support people that have had other chiropractors or other holistic providers, or maybe they are getting ready for surgery, and they'll come and get laser, and it'll make it so their body is then capable of being relaxed and at ease instead of in fight or flight. And they'll get much better results just by having a series of a few sessions of laser. Nice deep breaths, and you're breathing from your diaphragm right here. This is your identity spot, the third chakra, diaphragm. It's kind of like where we feel like this is who I am. So we're unlearning right now. The program is into the unlearning. We're creating space. We're actually, in a way, releasing some of the old trauma that has to do with money trauma. Money trauma and how that has been impacting your ability to sleep, to digest, to be present with family and friends. Literally show up in an energy that you're like, I'm good. There's like conflict. So what we're doing is we're releasing all of the heavy that has to do with holding you back. Release the heavy. And there's a choice. You get to do that in your own mind. Is that it's almost like you've been holding on to it, thinking that there's some level of maybe I deserve to have this. Like I need to pay a penance. There's a very common pay a penance thing. Breathe out. Yeah, let's do that again. That was huge. That's a huge one. We're going to do that 3 times. That's good. Where was the majority of that held? Where did you find the majority of that was being like held on to in your body?
My chest and my back.
Was it both? Okay, got it. So is there kind of a space there now? what is in the place, which is good? Cough it all out. Yeah. Get rid of anything else. Cool. Is there any empty space there that's in the place of where it was?
Yeah.
Let's fill it up with what you want. What do you want to invite in now that has to do with something amazing, something that fills your cup, that gives you, you had mentioned, that gives you peace, quiet, feeling okay, making it so that there's some connection possibility with people you love. What would be the emotion that you want to actually replace it with?
Love.
Love it. Okay. Anything else? You're in charge. You get anything you want, dude.
Yeah, peace.
Love it. Okay. Love and peace. Yep. Put that order in. You're the restaurant man. What else you want? You want a biggie fry that? Biggie size. So however you want to do it. Yeah. See yourself effectively placing that order, and that it's delivered instantly. It does not take time. It is like when you have that order from divine, it's like, order up. Whatever you got, whatever you want, order up. And it's up to you to be able to savor it, be able to partake of it however you choose, anytime you choose. Just breathe it in. Does it feel like it fits?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to have you walk with those glasses on for 1 minute. So it'll be down the hall. So this is the third session. We started like 3 days ago, and so with Charlie, this is his third day. And so what we're going to do is just go over like what are the differences that you've experienced up to this point, and just any feedback that you could give us.
Yeah, I came into it, wanting better, as I had mentioned when we first started out. I felt like I was in a state where I needed change because I was broken. And so I came in with an open mind, wanting something to improve in my life. I wasn't sure if you were going to be able to help me or not. I wasn't sure exactly what you were going to be able to provide for me, do for me. So I was a little skeptic, a little scared at first. And as we have went through the sessions, I already feel a difference. Not a major difference, but I feel like I'm more alive already. I feel like I can be more present. I feel like I can think a little bit more clear. Not that I'm there. I still have moments of resistance and wanting to hold myself back, but I definitely feel improvement and a little bit more life.
Awesome. Awesome. So when did you start feeling anything different at all? From the moment that we started on our first session, like was it like then, or was it a day later, or was it like with the subtleties, was it something that was, in your words, what would you say? When did you start noticing anything?
I think I started really noticing it the next day. I started feeling a little bit different the same day, but I really noticed the difference the next day. One of the things that I tend to do, as I talked about, is I'm not really present. And even if I'm interacting with family or we're doing something, I'm not really there. And the next day, we had a little family get-together where we sat in the living room for hours and we were playing games and we were just laughing and enjoying each other's company and visiting. And I actually felt present. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel present. And it was kind of like an aha moment and a feeling of, oh my gosh, I feel different.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So, and then tell me what else you were feeling like it was more light. It was like with your head, it was a little bit lighter. That was one of the things that you had described before. And then there was something else that was a difference too at work you had mentioned.
Yeah, for the light, I would say, when I first started, there was like kind of like a fog or a darkness or something that just kind of clouded my mind. And I really felt that fogginess lifted or subsided a little bit. And I felt a little bit more clear, a little bit more light. And I definitely noticed that difference. And then you took me through an exercise in our third session that really made a world of difference. And as I think about it, I get a little emotional. I don't know why. But it felt good. You were trying to take me out of the past because I'm so stuck in the past and all the things and the issues and the problems and all that crap that just holds me back. And you wanted me to see forward and into the future and get a feeling of what that feels like. And during the session, it took me a little while to get there, but as you brought me to the future and you talked about my restaurants and what do I want that to feel like? What do I want that to be? There were 4 words that came so strong to my mind through that exercise. And it was positive, alive, uplifting, and engaging. And those are things that I really want to feel in my restaurant and even more so in my life and with my relationships. And those 4 words just kept resonating with me. And I felt rejuvenated and excited for the rest of that day. And I kept thinking about it. And I was so excited about it that I went into work the next day. Yeah. And I printed out those words. And everybody that came into work that day, I kind of took them through, hey, let's get these 4 words incorporated into the culture in our restaurant. Let's have everybody that comes into the restaurant, whether they're an employee or a customer, whoever they are, let's feel these 4 words. And as I shared it with them, and as we went through the words, I could just see smiles on their faces. And I already felt a shift taking place immediately just from that one vision, from that one exercise that you gave me and that I was able to bring to my workplace. It was just like a world of difference.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. So the thing that's so cool is that comes from you. That was your vision. I facilitated the ability for you to really like have that be more clear for you, but it really was also coming from you. And it's like as you were able to kind of see it, and then we talked about having you be able to, like, let's say, approach an emotion and be able to kind of like more describe what is the feeling. And those are all things that came from within. So we kind of provided an atmosphere, and we did some things that with the lasers, and we did some things with the neuroplasticity equipment that makes it a lot easier for you to open up to yourself, to make it so that your heart was able to open faster, that you're able to have that clarity and the energy that is necessary to do that. Oftentimes in the past, before I had the laser, it would have taken forever. So the great thing, I love that it's like you're willing to do new things and to, in a way, play full out. Because the whole point is we talked about that, is it's kind of like life is this game. And it's a matter of, if we don't know that we can kind of like have some cheat codes, you know, it's like we take the long route, and it takes it so much longer for us to get to where we want to go, and sometimes we just give up. So a part of what we're doing is kind of in a way giving you a perception. It's the spark of, this is probably what you've felt in the past, and then sometimes it gets extinguished with stress. And we bury that, because the very reason why you even opened the restaurant, I'm sure there was some level of, yeah, this is going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
You know? And then we have a tendency to forget, because of just the mundane of the rhythm that we get into tends to be taxing us. And as business owners, we're the entrepreneurs. We are the vision creators. And that's awesome that for you to be able to so rapidly get back into your vision, because that's the case, is that you show up with whatever is necessary for your people, your employees, to plug into you. And once you're able to do that in a way that's like they can feel it from you, then they can like reproduce it, and then that is you when you're not even there. That's like an extension, that the energy that is left over is what you create. And that's the cool thing about what we can do, whether it's our business, whether it's our personal relationships, anything that you touch, you can bring that energy to it, as long as we take the time, and then we go through the necessary, it's kind of like steps. There's an equation for success we talked about when we first met. And it's a matter of changing those variables and making it so that you can, let's say, let them in and have them take hold. So it's like a vision in your head, heartfelt, and then it makes it easier for you to be able to articulate that, be able to make it so that you can kind of share it. And then hopefully we're going to make it so that we'll have some more time to be able to make it more concrete, to where it's more and more and more of the common for you. Instead of it being that it's temporary, it's more like, this is the new you. It's kind of like an upgrade. We're upgrading Charlie. Is that okay?
Oh, that would be great.
So good. Most of the time when I work with people, it takes a few sessions to make it so that they can, one, actually get in touch with who are they and who do they want to be, and then kind of put together kind of a process to where we can make it so it's easier for them to do some of the homework. And that's a part of when I'm doing work with individuals, to make it so as we're doing healthcare, we do more life care, and then we basically do the training so that you can actually partake and do more and more and more, just to make it solid. So I'm so glad that you were able to share that as awesomeness, and I can't wait for you to have even more success.
Yeah, if after just a few sessions I'm feeling this good, the future is so bright, and I'm excited to continue moving forward.
Love it, Charlie. Thank you.
Yeah.
One of the things that I find is that whenever I'm going to have a different outcome with my body, is that when I'm all in, when a person's all in, then they're willing to think differently, and their choices are different, and they empower themselves by it. It's like, I see myself already being this future upgraded version.
Right.
And so it's like, it's a commitment that they make that a priority, and they do whatever it takes to be like, they'll take their schedule and push it apart and go, I'm going to make a room for this new whatever it is, and that's the first and most important thing. And when a person makes it so that they're like, I'm already this future version of amazing, and in order to have that happen, I'm doing that, I'm all in, then it makes it so that they are much more secure, and they're going to have that because they have made it such a priority.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that, I didn't have time, because that means that's the 15th priority. It's
Yes.
not the first priority.
Yes. I've done that many times in my life, so I completely relate to this. When
Right.
I'm all in, I'm all in.
Right.
And nothing is going to
And you have your
get
goal.
out of my
You-
way.
You get it.
Right.
You get the result because
Right.
you're like, you know what, I'm going to do whatever it
It's a
takes.
priority. How can they, whether they're here in Southern Utah or whether they're New York, Florida, California, perhaps even international,
Sure.
how can they get the benefits and how can they work with you?
There's a real simple way. We have a landing page that we just put together, and it is Dream Achievement Academy. That is a new academy that I've created, and we're launching it this month in May. So dreamachievementacademy.com. So that's a landing page. Or another way to get there is drtroygraf.com. So that's just Dr. Troy, Troy, Graf, Graf.com.
Okay.
So that's another way. That would probably be the easiest. And with that, then there's information that you can fill out, and it'll actually be sent to us immediately, and we can have a dialogue right away. So we can have an opportunity to actually do a strategy session with you. And the strategy session is you choosing what is it that you want to have as your future you. So we basically talk about a quadrant. So there's 4 different areas that we work with. And when we talk about a dream achievement, it is having that vision that I was talking about with Charlie. In the past, we were trained to be healthcare providers, doing healthcare, and I found that I could only help people so far, and I've been doing this 30 years, and realizing that individuals that really got the best result actually went deeper, and we went into more of a life care. So life care is what I am providing at this point, and it is that it's more of I am doing guidance. So it's like a life care guide, I guess you could say, is really what I see that I'm providing. The role that I'm playing right now is that way, because every person, it's a level of being able to have clarity for what is it that they want to have happen in these quadrants, and whether that's love and relationships or it has to do with freedoms. We have the ability to actually have freedom in our life, and oftentimes freedom starts with time freedom or money freedom. And another thing is just careers. Like, what do you want to have happen? Do you want to actually do what you're doing, or do we need to upgrade and make it so that you finally do what you love doing? And so, it's that health and wellness is a part of that. It's a quarter of that, and I've spent the majority of my time in my life providing that 1/4, but knowing that there was more to make it so that a person could enjoy a full spectrum of wholeness, a full spectrum of fulfillment. And that's why doing this Dream Achievement Academy is my passion.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad. Thank you.